The hidden financial reset, how tokenization is quietly taking over the world. Imagine a future in which every home, every piece of art, every stock, every gold bar, and even your personal identity exists not only in the actual world, but also as a one-of-a-kind digital token that can be traded. In this hypothetical scenario, banks would lose their monopoly, intermediaries would disappear, and you would be able to purchase a portion of a building using just your phones. I would not call this science fiction. Things are already taking place. In addition, it is a component of a covert financial reset that the majority of people are not even aware is taking place. The purpose of this video is to investigate the ways in which tokenization is gradually taking over the world, as well as the reasons why it has the potential to radically transform money, power, and ownership as we know them. The financial reset nobody's talking about. When people hear the term financial reset, they often think of currency crises, debt jubilees, or attempts by the government to bail out the economy. But the reset that is taking place right now is far more subtle, and it has the potential to be more effective. Rather than upgrading the system overnight, it is being reprogrammed from the inside out, which will result in a change in the manner in which assets are stored, exchanged, and held. The most important factor is tokenization, the act of taking anything valuable in the real world, like real estate, equities, or even music royalties, and expressing it as a digital token on a secure blockchain is the essence of tokenization. Tokenization is a process that utilizes blockchain technology. After then, the token may be purchased, sold, or transferred quickly, without the need for the usual intermediaries like brokers, banks, or notary officials. Imagine that you are providing each asset with its very own digital passport. This digital passport is a one-of-a-kind verifiable document of ownership that can be sent over the internet with the same ease as sending a few text messages. What exactly is tokenization? As a means of comprehending the revolutionary nature of this, let us dissect it as follows. The computerized representation of physical assets. There is more to a token than simply a coin like Bitcoin. To put it another way, it may stand for anything, from a single square foot of farmland to a single share in a firm. Take, for instance, the purchase of a luxurious condo in New York City. One may split the property into 1,000 tokens, which would eliminate the need to spend millions of dollars. You may purchase 1% of it and then get 1% of the rental revenue. The blockchain as the trust infrastructure. The technology behind blockchain assures that the token cannot be faked or replicated in any way. Each and every transaction is forever recorded, which ensures that ownership is both visible and safe. Instantaneous dealing without borders. These days, selling a home might take many months. With tokenization, ownership may be transferred in a matter of minutes, even between individuals located in different countries, without the need for intermediaries, such as banks, attorneys, or brokers to slow down the process. Partial ownership of a stake. When assets are broken down into smaller pieces, investment becomes more accessible to regular people, rather than being reserved for the rich few. The silent takeover has begun. It's possible that you believe tokenization is nothing more than a term in the world of technology. Nevertheless, it is already transferring billions of dollars. The real estate industry. In the United States, businesses such as realty are offering rental homes that are tokenized. Tokens are available for purchase by investors, and the rental revenue is automatically distributed in Bitcoin. In the realm of art and collectibles, Masterworks and other platforms provide the opportunity to purchase a portion of a Picasso painting digitally as a token. Stock markets. Both the Swiss Stock Exchange and the Singapore Exchange have already begun conducting experiments with completely tokenized equity. The tokenization of commodities like gold, silver, and oil is allowing investors to purchase modest quantities of these commodities quickly. The fact that governments are now trying tokenized bonds is evidence that this trend is not limited to the private sector alone. Why it's being called a financial reset. Gatekeepers, which include banks, clearinghouses, brokers, and government registries, were integral to the operation of the previous financial system. They have control over who may access assets, how quickly transactions can take place, and how much fees are charged. Through tokenization, several of these gatekeepers may be circumvented. Rapidity. Transactions take place in real time, around the clock. There is no need to wait for business hours. Cost. When there are fewer middlemen, the fees are cheaper. Access. Anyone who has access to the internet is able to engage, even in marketplaces that they were previously barred from. In the blockchain, ownership and transaction history are completely transparent to everyone. This ensures transparency. If anything like this were to become widespread, it would effectively be rewiring the pipes of the global economy, making it more open, cheaper, and quicker simultaneously. Because of this, there are some experts who believe that it marks the beginning of a new age in the financial sector. The geopolitical angle. It is at this point that things get even more intriguing, as well as rather contentious. At the moment, the United States dollar is the dominant currency in international commerce. This supremacy, however, might be undermined by tokenization. Assets that are digitized and exchanged directly on blockchains may be valued in stablecoins, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, or even in completely new digital units. This is because blockchains allow for direct market transactions. Several nations, including China, are making significant efforts to implement blockchain-based financial systems, and pilot projects for the digital yuan have already begun. Both the European Union and the United States are investigating their own versions. Furthermore, this indicates that control over the infrastructure of digital assets has the potential to become a geopolitical weapon, similar to control over oil or semiconductors. Whoever establishes the worldwide regulations for tokenized assets could potentially control the movement of trillions of dollars. The risks and dark side. It is not all sunshine and freedom all the time. Tokenization is associated with significant dangers. Centralization via CBDCs. If governments were to control the infrastructure of tokenization, they would be able to monitor each and every transaction and even freeze or erase assets for certain purposes. Threats to cybersecurity. Blockchains that house tokenized assets are susceptible to hacking, despite the fact that blockchains themselves are safe. In many countries, there are still unclear regulations regarding tokenized ownership, which creates confusion for investors. This is referred to as legal gray areas. Concentration of wealth. If there is no genuine democratization, the same elites that control the old system might also rule the tokenized system. The everyday impact. Here are some of the ways that tokenization may alter your life in the next 5 to 10 years. There is the possibility of acquiring parts of global real estate without having to leave your nation. Direct sales to fans would be possible for artists and producers, eliminating the need for record companies or galleries. When you borrow money, you might utilize your tokenized assets as immediate collateral, which would make the process of borrowing money quicker. In order to provide both security and transparency, voting systems might be built on tokens. In a nutshell, your money, your bank account, and even your identity might be stored on cryptocurrency known as blockchain. What to watch next? Indications that the reset of the financial system is accelerating. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and HSBC are among the major financial institutions that have already begun conducting blockchain testing. There have been instances of governments such as Hong Kong and the United Kingdom issuing tokenized bonds using blockchain technology. The term real estate megadeals refers to the sale of large commercial buildings in part as tokens. Legal clarity is being established as an increasing number of countries enact regulations regarding the ownership of digital assets. It will be clear to you that we are transitioning from early adoption to mass transformation when you see the acceleration of these four phenomena. Conclusion. Every significant change in the history of money, such as the move from gold to paper, cash to credit, and checks to digital, has resulted in a shift in the distribution of power and wealth. Tokenization is the next revolution that is taking place. It is not coming with demonstrations or spectacular headlines, but rather it is coming quietly, intertwined into the platforms and transactions that people use on a daily basis. The transformation of assets like real estate, art, equities, and currencies into digital tokens that are fractional, tradable, and accessible on a global scale is now taking place. Because of this subtle transformation, the norms governing ownership, finance, and power are being rewritten. By the time the general public has a thorough understanding of its magnitude, the covert financial reset will have already been finished, and the economic landscape of the globe will have been irrevocably altered. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more.